Welcome everyone to this next interview I have of the She Shakes the World interview series. I am Rachel Waite, founder of She Shakes the World, and I am, very honored, very delighted, very excited to bring to you today Liz Baitson. Liz and I have been connected for the past, probably maybe 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
She is one incredible human being who has so much to share with you all. And I really want you to listen into this conversation today. We already don't know exactly the direction it's going to go in, but we know it's going to go in a very important direction. So, Liz, I would love you to share who you are and how it is that you, in your unique way, shake the world.
Oh, thank you so much, Rachel. I was so looking forward to this because of the magic that you bring, and so I'm really grateful. Thank you. I am Liz Baitson. That's a really good question. Who am I? Because it's really hard to describe. But today, in this moment of the present now, I guess the best way I can describe who I am and what I do is that I'm a space alchemist. This is my new way of describing what I do. I create spaces for people, particularly in business, and bring together very intentionally, setting an intention, setting a vibration, setting a frequency, um, to bring together people that are going to have the most impact. So, as we talked about earlier, I help people have that inner and outer permission to become wealthy, not
Yes.
be frightened of it,
And
know that it's your divine right. And also I give them the space and the connections that they need to make that happen, because trade is only about a relationship between you and some other entity, and that other entity is a human being. So it's all about relationships, really, and that's what I do. I hold spaces for amazing relationships to happen.
I can absolutely vouch for that because I have been part of Liz's High Net Connect community since I think it's October, November last year, and I have felt that, and I have it's been a privilege to be part of that community and see that in progress. And I just love how you share yourself so generously with your community as well. And we did touch upon, we were talking about earlier, and how you help people to give themselves permission to be wealthy. And I'd love to just get your thoughts and your ideas about money around abundance, because I think it's hard for so many of us to get our head around being wealthy and having abundance and allowing that to come to us, and many blocks that we all have around that. What advice could you share around this topic of giving yourself permission to be wealthy?
Oh, it's such a big and emotive subject, because wealth has been hidden from us, not for all of us, but for most of us. Wealth is a thing to attain, it's not a natural state. And I'm here to tell you that's wrong. And I think there have been people in the past, there have been, I think it may have been Bob Proctor or
Oh,
some,
yes.
these
Yeah.
people that talk about it's your divine right or your natural right to live in a state of abundance. We live on a planet which has more than enough for all of us. So over the years, civilizations developed, we've become more sophisticated, and we've developed this idea of trade. And we've developed this idea of business. And business is just a number of trades. It's a group doing the thing. I try and simplify everything into toddler language because I've got 5 children. They're not toddlers, they're teenagers, but trying to explain to them, now, what is the point of all this? Why is somebody wealthy and others are not? What is the problem? And I think first and foremost is we're not programmed genetically, environmentally, socially for wealth. So it feels like a thing that we have to do to get somewhere. But actually, I argue that you have to be it. You have to give yourself permission to understand that it is your truth, and to know that anyone listening to this right now, you're probably in a very privileged position on this planet. There's so many people out there that have no choice, and I think it's the responsibility and the duty of those that can and have got a choice and can align themselves with their true wealth to become as wealthy as possible, to help those others that have no choices. So you have to become wealthy. How dare you not become wealthy? Because you've got to pick up your brother and sister that hasn't got a choice. So I am here to give people permission to be wealthy. And also, of course, we have the stigma, the negative connotation of money, the negative connotation of the wealthy. And one of my other reasons for having High Net Connect is to connect the wealthy, the good wealthy, with the good without wealth, and bring them together, because we're exactly the same.
Yes.
We're exactly the same. And so often people almost glorify poverty, or glorify not earning, and glorify giving for nothing in return. Why? It's insanity, because if you do not get fair exchange for that which you give, you are going to actually betray yourself. And by betraying yourself, you lower your energy, and you've got nothing for the rest of, as I said, the duty that we owe to every single man, woman, child, animal on this planet, to even things out. The universe wants equilibrium. You look at the planets, you look at atoms, you look at the way that elements behave, we all tend towards equilibrium. So I believe it's our natural driving force is to help each other and achieve that utopian state, which I do believe in, you know. I'm a dreamer.
I'm just sitting here going, wow. I mean, I know you said you're a channel, but those powerful words, those words that just
I don't
came,
know where they came from.
they were just what needed to come out of your mouth. And I love the fact that you describe it as it is your duty to become wealthy, because the more, and this is what I often say, the more you give, the more you can receive. The more, and it's like a circle, and the more you receive, the more you can give. And I think the more of us on this vibration of wanting to do good, the more of us who have the wealth to share, the more we can create in the world. And,
Oh,
and that's what I see for the She. So interesting, because that's what I see for the She Shakes the World movement. This is about bringing, sharing abundance for good. Money isn't something to be scared of. It's not something to be feared. It's not an evil thing. Actually, it's the most beautiful thing. It's an energy. That's all it is. It's an energy that wants to flow through you. It wants to flow out of you. And we just sometimes we block it with our own beliefs, with our own thoughts. And can you imagine the more, because it is limitless. There are no limits to the amount we're told. Oh, it's not possible. We're told as we grow up, we're almost like these limitations get put around us. And I just want all these limitations to come off.
yes.
Because can you imagine if we're all stepping up and stepping into our abundance, what ripple effects, what amazing stuff could we we could create in the world.
Oh, that's made me go very goosebumpy. My hands are tingling. It's actually, I've got about 16 books I want to write. But the first one that's easy is called What If? And it is literally a series of questions. And one of them is, what if you had your full sovereign power? What if, and it was actually asked by a lady the other day, gosh, beautiful lady, Lyra.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
Lyra,
I'll
yes.
have to tag her proper
Yes.
full name here. But she actually asked the question, what would you do if everything was okay? If everything became peaceful and everything was balanced and everyone had what they needed, who would we be? And I think the story of money and civilization and the story of power, because essentially that's what it is, it's an agreement we've all just decided on. We've agreed to create money. We've agreed to subscribe to the laws. I won't get deeply into law and policies and things like that, but actually all of it is our agreement. We have subscribed, therefore nothing is outside of our control. In fact, in actuality, it's just our way of, I guess, governing society. And I have lots of thoughts about how that's been abused. And as we said earlier, we have everything beautiful has been abused and turned evil. So actually that beautiful, amazing, genius idea of creating a token for trade to help, store and measure the behaviors of a community has been abused. The beautiful divine feminine has been abused. The beautiful religions have been abused. Everything gorgeous and powerful has been abused. So it's really difficult to then deeply follow one of these paths without getting tainted by the years and years and years of abuse, because you can't help but click into the collective unconscious and actually think, should I be wealthy? Should I have money? It's a dirty thing, isn't it? And aren't rich people idiots? Aren't they just, you know, interested in keeping it all to themselves? Well, I disagree. Totally.
And it's so interesting because as you were saying that, I was just feeling that actually, and it's really easy. I feel very strongly that this time on the planet, you know, where we're 2022 and onwards, this is the time where we're shifting those paradigms. Men and women, we are rising, we're coming up, we're being seen, we're speaking out, we're talking truth about money, about what it actually is. And I just see that, like, there is, and I want this interview and whoever's listening to almost be your permission to go, yes, it's my time to rise as well. And I'm not going to allow these old paradigms and these old ways to hold me back anymore. And I have been on that journey myself, and I feel it's all shifted over the past couple of years, and maybe it's happened for a lot of people as well, but it's almost like, okay, now it's almost time to rise above all that. I feel that is like low energy, let's say, and now it's time to rise above all of that, and that the truth and the love that comes with wealth and abundance, and not being scared almost to share about it either.
And that's it. There's so much shame talking about, well, there was for me when I started learning about shamanism and alternative medicine. You know, I'm a mathematician, and I studied maths, and I went into a very, you know, a very black and white job, did investment banking, and I thought I'd achieve that which is my highest potential. See, my biggest fear in life is not fulfilling my potential, because I was given a lot of gifts that do not come from me. They do not come from me. I was given the gifts of maths, as we said before. I have a affinity with numbers. I didn't work for that. It just came. I have the ability to present myself in a certain way. None of this is my doing. I didn't design me. All of these things are given as gifts to me, and I'm like, why have I been given so much? And when I was growing up, I've got two sisters and a brother, and as I was growing up, success has always been very easy for me. Oh, isn't that a line of a song? I think it's like, success has been so easy for you. That's me, right? And what that brings is a lot of jealousy, a lot of dislike, and it was happening not only outside in my friendships but also inside in my home. And I found, you know, it's not probably very easy to be in my shadow. And then I found that I was hiding my light, because if I hide my light, then everyone else will like me, and it makes the world a better place. Oh my God, that is the stupidest position to ever take. And every single person listening to this,
sometimes it's the safest, and it takes courage to allow that light out and to shine it and give others, because what you're doing as well is giving others permission to shine their light, and that takes courage.
Because I believe every single person has a light inside them and a gift. Every single person. So think of the miracle that you are, the absolute miracle that you are, that you have made it onto this earth, even to the degree of getting into the biology of it. You know, the information in that tiny little zygote, that tiny little sperm and egg, you had to beat the half of you that had to do the swimming. You had to beat all those millions of other bits of information. Like, you are a miracle. Every single person listening to this is a miracle. We are so rich. I love to show my children when we go into the shops and I say, you can have anything you want, go and get what you want. I don't spoil them, but I do give them the ability to choose. I don't restrict them. I never say you can't afford this. I never say anything's too expensive.
No,
People that say that that is the right way to bring up a child, I challenge you, because you are creating a poverty mindset. You do not do that. Things can be not the right time to buy.
yeah.
It's not the right time to buy that, but you do not program them with that is too expensive, or you can't afford that, or we cannot afford that. That is bringing their thinking down to a level where they are going to limit their choices in the future. And it can be the simplest thing, like we can't have organic fruit because it's too expensive. You've got to ask yourself whether you want to be putting those messages into their subconscious. And I really deeply believe this. As a mother of 5 children, I'm watching other parents influence my children, you know, the other parents, and some of the things I don't agree with. And as I'm pushing forward this idea that abundance is our natural legacy, really, we've been given this incredible brain. We're miracles. We got here, like we survived, we've made it. Anyone that's an adult, you're a miracle. You got through some real tough times, and now you're an entrepreneur. My God, if you're an entrepreneur, you're saying no to the society limits, and you're then going forth and creating your own reality. You're a God. You literally are. Oh God, I'm going to have lots of people telling me off for saying that. But you are a magical, magical being. Hi, darling. That was one of the children. Oh, I'm being recorded. No, darling. Sorry, that was one of the children. We are given so much. We've given the power of our mind. We're given the power over our body. We're given these amazing other beings to communicate with. We've got language. We've got libraries and history. We've got so much. So when I do struggle when people feel that they've got no choice, because you've always got a choice.
Yeah.
And not only that, you can open up a world of choices by closing the doors on your ability to choose. So no matter where you are right now, no matter how bad things are, there's another doorway, and it's just there. It's just darkest before the dawn. So I believe that what we're actually seeking when we're seeking wealth is choices. People say freedom to do what?
That. Choices.
Yeah, we're just seeking choices.
Yeah.
That's all we're seeking. So what about if you had the choices? What about if you know right now you have the choice to choose? Then you actually start to, I believe, embody the true wealth state, which is the limitless abundance of your being. And so I feel like I'm saying stuff that I might have read in a book or learned in a course, but I genuinely believe that actually we do not have any kind of limits. And as soon as we come to terms with that, which is really outside of our comfort zone, we don't want to be a limitless thing. We're like, we've got these boundaries. We live in a world of duality. We live in a world of relativity. Why would we want to be limitless? That's scary. That's the void. Well, I'm here to say that you are limitless. And that's exactly how I run my businesses. And that's why I've got so many. That's why I enjoy every day.
Yeah, and that's why you're so, I don't know, you have so much.
Yeah.
Because you don't have those limitations. You just, they don't even exist for you. And it's so interesting because the clients that I work with, I literally see their limitations, and I have to start cutting them out of them and ripping them out of them and letting them expand out of them. Because as we grow up, I think we're born with no limitations. I don't think we come into this world thinking that. They just get put upon us. And it's our duty, I feel, to show people that actually we can burst through these. We don't need them. They might be there keeping us safe, and I'm going to say that in inverted commas, and it is scary when you go through those boundaries. It's magical also when you're in that place of knowing that there are no limitations.
And the thing that you said to me before that has really touched my really touched my heart is that another child walked in. So many blessings, although I'm like, blessings, can you leave the room? And don't get me wrong, I'm not always cheerful. I'm quite an extreme character. I'm either super cheerful, or my daughter's smiling at me. Where are you there? I'm either super cheerful, or I need and sociable, or I'm in complete silence and I need that time to, I guess, recalibrate and integrate everything that I've taken on, and all the people's energy that I've communicated at that time. And it doesn't mean I'm not cheerful, but I do go into, I guess, quite a solemn, serious mode. And that is just to quieten the noise, because whilst we are I do believe we're limitless. One of the things I think, especially as an entrepreneur, myself and the entrepreneurs that I teach, is to be stable and calm and together in chaos, because actually nature is also chaotic. Despite the amazing order that we see in our bodies and in I would call it natural revelation around us all the time, there is an underlying bubbling chaos. We're spinning on this planet in the middle of God knows where, and everything's all random and stuff. So I think having that quiet time as well is super, super, super important. But I haven't got it cracked at all. I'm 43 now, and I reckon I only started to really know who I am and what I'm doing here probably in the last 2 years. The rest of the time I was just mucking about.
Yeah, I just turned 44, and I
Ah,
same. Yeah, for me it's been
younger.
since I turned 40 that everything. So what I want people to take from listening is, you don't need to know. You like people
Yeah,
often, you don't need to. You may feel like, I don't know, it's too late, or
yeah,
you need to
yeah,
know, and you need to know from your 20s what you're meant to be doing. I honestly believe our purpose evolves as we evolve, and it can become clear in your 40s, 50s, 60s. I've
yeah,
seen it coming
yeah,
clear for people in their 70s, and so
yes,
there is no time limit on this, time limit on it either. um Liz, I know I could talk to you all day long, and we could have this conversation go on for hours and hours, but I know that we unfortunately we can't broadcast this for 2 hours. So I would like to. You've shared so much wisdom and knowledge. Just sort of, I've just felt it flowing through you. I would like to end with the question, which I often ask at the end of these interviews, and it is, why is it important, do you think, that we do stand up as women and or our men and shake the world?
oh, um, I think fear of repeating myself. My biggest fear is not to fulfill my potential. And every single person, I believe, has something important to say. I don't believe you would have got through this far in the adventure if you didn't. I really don't believe that you're here for no reason. So it's our duty. As I said, I don't like to use duty unless it's for a very positive reason. And this is the only duty that I think anyone should ever subscribe to: the duty of being yourself, the duty of letting your spirit have its say, because your spirit's going to have its say in your body whether you like it or not. So why not actually work with it, actually align with it, resonate with it, and say and be the very truest, highest version of yourself. And you don't actually have to become wealthy for that. You don't actually have to become powerful for that. You can do that in today. If you're a mum at home, or you've got some pets or whatever, if you just ask yourself, what could I do if I was my highest version right now? What exactly could I do now to go and share the message that I've got? It may be a message of love, it may be a message of community, it may be a message of divine inspiration, whatever it is. What can I do to actually share that with whoever is around me? So, for example, what I'm going to do is tonight, I'm going to make the dinner, which is very unusual for me because I don't do any cooking. And I do the tiniest little things, like I use tomato ketchup to write "I love you" to my teenage son who doesn't want to talk to me and stuff like that. Just do the smallest thing to have an impact on other people around you with your highest version, your happiest version, the version that makes you feel the closest to your inner child. It's so important that we do that, because the more people do that, I believe we raise each other's vibration, collectively. I believe mine and your vibration connecting today has created a wavelength much higher than ours individually.
Yeah.
So I believe it's really important that every single person is their highest version, no matter what impact they can have, even if it is just bringing someone a cup of tea. Just go and get your grumpy husband a cup of tea, or your grumpy wife a cup of tea. Just do it and try it, and be kind and be honest and be brave, and see how that has a ripple effect in the rest of the world and the rest of your day, and maybe the rest of your week, and maybe the rest of your life. Because I think together there's nothing we can't do.
Oh, Liz, I can't better that. I can't say anything else
Oh,
because that was just so perfect.
oh, thank you. I've got to
Oh,
make dinner now. I've committed myself.
you've got to go and write dinner. You've got to you and tomato ketchup everywhere. But
Damn.
those small things make such a world of difference. They make you feel better.
Yeah.
You'll be more connected with your family rather than always having to be, or complaining about each other or moaning or you've not done this or you've not done that, and starting. Why not start with it just being, I'm going to share,
Mm.
love and positivity, and change the just you,
Yes.
and you the one person can make a difference for the whole family as well, just by you shifting. And I think a lot of people, I don't know, I'm going off on one now, but a lot of people are waiting for someone else to change their behavior in order for you to feel better. Or if he
Oh
only
my
did this,
gosh.
if they only did that, I feel better. But actually, it can come from you. And if you're waiting for someone else to change, you're going to be
Oh,
waiting a very long time.
you'll wait forever.
So
Oh
it
my gosh.
has to
And that,
start with you.
you've literally made the perfect circle there, Rachel, because I started off saying I'm a space alchemist, and now you've actually you've basically given permission to everyone else to become a space alchemist. And what I mean by that is you are the controller of not just yourself, your aura, and you have an effect on the space around you. If
Mm.
you own a space, i.e., your home or a WhatsApp group or any kind of space, online or offline, change the vibration of the space and see what an amazing effect that you can have. So you can just, like you said, you can change, and us women are very, very good at changing the space.
Mm.
I'm very good at changing it into a negative one as well if I've got the ump. So just just flip it and see what happens.
Yeah,
Imagine if we all did that. Oh my
yeah.
God,
Oh,
the whole
amazing.
world would change in an instant.
This conversation has changed the world, Liz. I'm
It
sure it
has.
has. Oh, it's been fantastic. Thank
Oh,
you so
thank
much.
you.
So much for sharing your energy. And it's been, I know this is going to be a life-changing conversation. So
Oh,
thank you so much for sharing your time. And yes, I
thank
look forward to hearing people's feedback and their comments
you.
on how they found this interview.
Oh, bless you.
Thanks, Liz.
Thanks, Rachel.